Hello again, and welcome to another video. During this video, we're going to be measuring, marking measurements on items, and getting familiar with how dimensions are. And this exercise is located on page 6 of your Communicate Graphically booklet. And to be able to follow along, you're going to need a ruler and a pencil. The first item that we're going to be measuring is this green pencil over here. And right above this pencil, marked right above it, is its dimension. Now, in graphical communication, keep in mind that we only use millimeters in order to measure something and to mark how long or wide an object is. Okay, so let's start by measuring the length of this pencil by using a ruler. Now, by the looks of it, this pencil is 143 millimeters long. So with a pencil, let's mark the measurement on the dimension. Now it's time to measure the pencil's conical wooden tip. So here we have an aligned dimension this time. Now, by the looks of it, this wooden tip is 24 millimeters long. So let's go ahead and mark it on this aligned dimension. Now remember, since we are doing graphical communication, our labeling has to be as neat as possible, okay? It has to be neat, readable, clear, because of course neatness forms part of our final mark. Now we have this key over here. Firstly, we're going to be, once again, same as we did before, we're going to be measuring the length of this key. And on top of it is the dimension of the key's length. Now, according to my ruler, this key is 80 millimeters long. So let's go ahead and label it. Now we have a dimension for the diameter of this key, for the diameter of the handle. This symbol represents diameter, and it's always depicted as a 0 with a strike through. Now let's measure the diameter from arrow to arrow. And according to my ruler, the handle of this key is 36 in diameter. And let's mark the 36 millimeters on the space provided. And now let's move on to the screwdriver. Here we only have a dimension for length. So, similar as we did before, let's grab our ruler and measure the length of the screwdriver, always in millimeters. Now, according to my ruler, this screwdriver is 136 millimeters long. Now let's label the dimension. And let's move on to measuring the length and width of this easy to use mobile phone. And firstly, I'm going to be measuring the length of this phone. Now let's grab a ruler. Make sure that your ruler is resting on the smooth flat edges of this phone. And this phone appears to be 106 millimeters in length. Now let's measure the width. Once again, rest your ruler only on the flat edges, and this mobile phone is 42 millimeters wide. And let's go ahead and mark the width of this phone on the dimension. Okay. Even though that in this exercise we were just measuring, I hope that you've got some insights on how proper dimensions are to be labeled on objects.